I'm Eric at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm, and this is Florida Natural Farming. I'm going to look at cashews and cacao today. So Theobroma cacao and cashews. So this is a seed-grown cashew. I think we have between 100 and 200 of these trees that I've seen in various stages. This one looks like it's about a year old. But sometimes they can struggle for a while, a couple years, and then they'll start growing fast. Depending on its location, how much input you give it, like compost. I like to do small compost piles right adjacent to my trees once they get a certain size. Down here we have a couple more seed-grown cashews. 2 years old. This one right here that flowered for the first time last year, and I imagine it's going to flower this year. It's basically November 3rd, 2025. I do see some panicles forming on it. I'll go look at this other 2-year-old tree. This one bloomed for the first time last year. It's almost 2 years, like a year and 8 months, 9 months. But the panicles are already formed on this one. Flowers are kind of insignificant. Just the tips get little tiny maroon colored flowers on them. Tiny little flowers, just on the tips. Not showy at all. It's one of our Miko lemons. This is a got fruit on it already. I saw that we have fruit on our pomelo too, which is quite exciting. Trim my paths today, very nice. Trim my ginger. There's some cashews growing through here, but I can't really see them walking by like this. But I can see some from here. Just as I glance into there, I can see some. The lychees are looking great, by the way. But here's some cashews. I see that Miko lemon is flowering too. We're going to have a lot of fruit on our second generation Miko lemons. This is a cashew. Looks like there's a cashew there. There's a little tiny one right here. Right there. Lots of blooms on these. It's going to have a lot of citrus this year, it looks like. Little lychee, doing good. That's that cashew I just pointed out. Here's one right here. There's one right here. Actually see two there. There's one right here. This lychee is doing a lot better, but it doesn't really have a full bloom on it. It has some bloom. 3 cashews right here. Here's a cashew right here. Maybe it'll be a good year for lychees. We don't have the Aranos mites here. One of the trees had it, but it overcame it. Several years ago it had it. Lychees. I'm looking for cashews. I probably missed a couple. Here's one right here. They're all through here. I popped the seeds in. I'm going to plant a bunch of the seeds of the cashew in the cow pastures in there. Just put them everywhere. I get the whole place filled up with them. Here's one here that's doing quite well. Here's another one here doing quite well. I see a fairly large one there. There's a bunch through here. They seem to do really amazingly well. And this all came from one tree. I get hundreds of fruit from this one tree. This is a lychee that's getting quite large, that has some blooms on it. Here's a lychee. There's a fairly good sized lychee right there. I walked by, but one right there that's looks like it has an oak tree growing up the center of it. Birds usually get our lychees, but not all of them, but most of them. But the trees are finally getting big. Here's another Miko lemon. So here's a big cashew there. There's a lychee here. This is like the mother plant. It's pretty big, and I saw some panicles where it's getting ready to bloom. Looks really amazing and healthy. It's growing right next to the citrus. Citrus smells so good, the Miko lemon. So this is it. This is the big tree that all these babies come from, and it produces a lot of flower, or a lot of fruit, and a lot of flower. Yellow fruit. The juice is amazing. I love it. Easily get 200 fruit off this tree. Easily. Some of the other trees are getting bigger. Collect like 30, 35 a day for days on end. So it's probably a lot higher than that. I know I planted hundreds of seeds. I just don't count them all. Probably a lot more fruit than that. Just seems to never end. The santal tree is looking nice. And work my way over to the cacao, the Theobroma cacao. We grow 5 different types. We grow Trinitoro, Criollo, Fosteriana, Jaguar cacao, the white cacao, and the round leaf cacao. All seed grown. Some of our cacao is second generation, the yellow rib, the Fosteriana. There's a great looking female Garcinia Livingstonii tree, just gonna be loaded in flowers and fruit soon. Love this tree. Cacao, 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 cacao. Mm-hmm. So pretty here. I collected a bunch of leaves for my teas since my shoulder pain has gone away completely. Read this great study on antioxidants can diminish the effects of microplastics after you consume, drink, or breathe them. Anthocyanins in particular they were talking about. I did a video on anthocyanins about it's what's in pomegranates and red fruit, and quaimak has high anthocyanins. Probably the Garcinia latissima would be really... So I walked by a bunch of little seedling cacaos because I'm rambling on. Garcinia latissima would be a high anthocyanin fruit, I would think, or the leaf. The leaves contain all the nutrients. So here's a little seed-grown cacao, little one. I saw one that was a little bit bigger here. All dry farmed, right here. It's got last summer's leaves on it. Hasn't set out any new growth, but it will. And then there's a bunch of little cacaos in here. Trinitoro right here, right there. That's red is new growth. Right there, a little bit bigger. Right here. right there. But there's also some smaller ones in here, some Criollo and Fosteriana. I've been putting the cacao in all kinds of different places. Like I said, there's some planted along here. They're doing good. Under the oak trees seems to be a good spot for them. Under a overstory. I started some at our Ups and Downs farm. The Garcinias are doing great. I started some cacao at our Ups and Downs farm from Montoso Garden. Yeah, the cacao you can make a whole fortune on, and starting cacao right from, you could buy pods from Montoso Gardens and start it in compost and sell the seedlings for quite high amount. And you can also do it with your own fruit from here, or I could do it from our own fruit from here. Just start the seeds in compost and then sell them bare root. Just be open to the public. That's probably what would have to happen. Here's a Theobroma cacao trinitoro. So this really good, healthy looking Garcinia. I wonder if I could see it now. Earlier. Of course, I can't see it now that I want to see it because I was thinking about it, but it looked very healthy. It could have been macrophylla or something like that. These cacao here look pretty good. These are the large Trinitoro type, red one. This is I think I don't know. I don't know. It's one of them. There's a little cacao in here. I wonder if I could see them on the sly while I'm walking through here, but of course I can't because it's so lush and thick. But I could see them in here if I look. But here's a Jaguar cacao that, you know, it went through the winter and had a little drought, so it's dropping its old leaves, but those are new leaves coming out on them. It's totally fine. A little seedling I just planted last summer. And in here is a round leaf cacao. Just a gift from my friend Dan from a tree for me. It looks like something's trying to eat it, but it seems to be just fine. Very healthy and prolific looking tree. Here's a yellow-ribbed Fosteriana. This one does produce fruit, but we had such a severe drought and it had 30 fruit on it, and I let it hold all the fruit. I should have plucked like 2/3 of them and just left like 10 of them on there. But no, I was greedy and did like 30 fruit on it, and it carried them, and I got a lot of plants from it, but part of it died. Probably if I would have managed the crop a little bit better on such a small tree, it would have overcame the drought issue. But it's overcome it now. It's bigger than it was before. It seems healthier. All those red leaves are new. These are last winter's leaves, or, you know, the old leaves. There's some cacao in here. Here's one right here. This looks like a Criollo cacao, but I don't know. Who knows? There's some cacao in here, throughout here. Of course, where are they at? Here's some. This is, you can't really see them. See that? Right here. So it is. Here's one here. There's several through here like that. I see one over here. They're starting to poke up above the grass. We have a few more areas we plant cacao in. One of them is opposite of us, and then another new area I started planting them in is where we're headed now, cacao. There's also some cashews over there. Okay, my last video was horrible, I thought. But oh well. You win some, you lose some. I've been stressed out, kind of stressed out, not really stressed out, but just trying to get stuff done. So pretty here. I mean, it's just, it's exciting. It makes you excited to walk through here. And the air is so clean, and it's just, I don't know, it's just nice. Easy to get distracted. Okay, there's some cacao planted in this area here, through there, but I'll go around here to go in there. This one's gotten fairly large. I think this is not as big as some of the other. It must be a Trinitoro, I believe. Looks very healthy. Usually this time of year, because it usually is a drought, they will be dropping all their leaves and looking, you know, not very happy from not being watered, but they make it just fine. Generally. Here's a cashew. Here's a cashew, quite a bit bigger. It's a purple forest guava there. Looks content. Here's some cashews. I just direct sow the seeds and basically walk away. If I had my zebus here still, I would put a pile of manure next to them, you know, a compost pile, mix of hay and grass, clean hay, not, you know, organic certified preferably, or you know the source of it. But it's hard to get clean anything anymore. Here's another cashew. There's lots of cashews everywhere. Only ripe fruit we have right now is a random mulberry, but we have lots of star fruit, which I've been eating. I like them. That's kind of surprised me. Kind of surprised me, but I like them so well. Okay, there's some more cashews over here. Some are growing in more shade, some are in full sun, some are in partial shade. This one's fairly good sized. I put some through here, but I do not see them, but that does not mean anything. It means I see some seedling mangoes coming up in here, but just looking in there, I couldn't see any cashews, but there's a good sized cashew right there. Another Miko lemon. Gonna be lots of citrus fruit. Too bad we can't sell it, but I can sell seeds. Seeds from the citrus. Okay, I'm gonna look at a couple more cacao grown in a different area. One of them is and a cashew. One of them's over here. There's a cashew right here. It's getting its new leaves. There's all kinds of stuff in here. There's a little ackee seedling. There should be more cacao coming up in here. There's a little ackee seedling. Looks good. This looks like beautyberry. In fact, I'm sure it is. But I saw a nice, very healthy cacao in here. Yes, right here. It's really, really happy. Super happy. So this is where our old honeybees used to reside, the wild honeybees in this tree up here, and the raccoons went in there and got them. But I looked today and there's honeybees in there again. So I'm not sure, maybe they just split the hive. I'm gonna go see if that's the case. And look at these last two last few cacao seedlings over here. Because it's usually when I find an area where cacao does good, I like to concentrate the cacao in those areas. But it seemed like the cacao started doing good pretty much anywhere. Peanut butter fruit, seedling mango. So anywhere there was shade. I mean, what plant wouldn't want to live in here? Here's a cashew, pretty much growing in full shade. It's going to be interesting to see if they produce any fruit. Maybe it will, probably will. I don't know why it wouldn't, but I know there was some in here, but it's in the thick grass and they're hard to see. But I have a couple over here that look good. Here's one right here looking stellar. Cacao, Theobroma cacao. I don't know who it is. It could be Criollo, it could be Trinitoro. Here's another cacao. Same thing, I'm not exactly who it is, but it's been in the ground a while, a year anyway. Probably not the fastest growing, but it's, as long as they grow and are healthy, I don't really mind how long they can take. It can be a little slower sometimes, a lot of times if you don't water. But I found that everything does good here, especially the achachiro or the garcinias. They seem to do really good here. Very healthy looking trees. Anyway, that's it. That's my cashew and cacao video from Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm, March 3rd, 2025. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. I always enjoy hearing from you. Thanks for watching.